The early light of day spilled through the towering glass windows of Harrington Global headquarters, turning the entire lobby into a dazzling pool of golden reflections. And right in the middle of this spotless, intimidating world walked a thin 12-year-old girl named Marina Hale, holding a worn brown envelope as if it were the last honest thing she owned. Her backpack was tearing at the seams. Her shoes were coated with dust from miles of walking. Her breath came in shaky waves, fear and courage fighting inside her with every step. As she pushed through the heavy glass doors, dozens of employees in crisp suits paused to stare. But Marina didn't slow down. She had come here for a reason, to return something she found by accident, something she didn't understand, but knew wasn't hers. What she didn't expect was the laughter waiting for her inside one of the wealthiest offices in the city. If you still believe honesty matters, like, comment, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles. Your support lets us keep telling stories that remind the world kindness isn't dead. Marina had never stood in a place like this before. The air smelled like lemon polish and expensive coffee. Printers buzzed. Phones rang. Everyone moved with purpose, as if their lives were more important than time itself. The receptionist blinked at her before finally pointing toward an office at the end of the hallway. Inside sat Grant Harrington, billionaire investor, magazine cover celebrity, and a man whose smile looked practiced rather than sincere. His suit was flawless, his posture perfect, his attitude cold. Marina swallowed her fear and held out the envelope with both hands. It wasn't heavy, but to her, it felt like the weight of a decision she had to make. It held a set of documents, sketches, financial sheets, handwritten notes, and blueprints she couldn't understand. But she did understand one thing. It belonged to someone important, and she wanted to do the right thing. Grant didn't even look at the envelope. First he looked at her, then at his assistant, and then, with a smirk spreading across his face, he left, loud enough for people outside the glass walls to look up. His assistant chuckled too, shaking her head as if Marina were a joke. Grant assumed she was messing with him. A prank, a distraction, a silly little nobody wasting the time of a billionaire. Marina's chest tightened, but she stayed firm. She explained where she found the envelope on a quiet park bench, how she protected it, and how she used her school's computer lab to find this address. But the more she talked, the harder he laughed. For a moment, Marina wished she had stayed home, that she had never walked into this cold building full of glass and pride. Grant didn't know. Marina's life wasn't easy. She lived with her grandmother in a tiny apartment where the lights flickered and the meals were never guaranteed. She had been using the same backpack for years. Her study table was an old crate placed next to a cracked window that let freezing air slip in at night. But still, she believed in doing what's right. She believed lost things should be returned. She had walked an hour to get here. Her feet ached. Her throat was dry. But she came anyway. And now she questioned everything. Maybe returning it didn't matter. Maybe people didn't care about good deeds anymore. Maybe she was wrong. Then, the office door opened. A frail elderly man stepped inside, leaning on a wooden cane. His name was Arthur Linwood, a retired architect known for restoring historical buildings around the city. His silver hair framed tired yet sharp eyes. The moment he saw the envelope in Marina's hands, his entire expression changed. Recognition, shock, relief. Arthur approached her carefully, asking one soft question. Marina explained everything. The park bench, the envelope, the search, the walk. Arthur's hands trembled as she spoke. That envelope wasn't just paperwork. Inside were original architectural drafts, documents he had spent months working on. They were priceless to him. Grant's smile died instantly. Arthur turned toward him, not angry, but deeply disappointed. He explained that Marina had returned something irreplaceable, something connected to a heritage reconstruction project he had devoted his heart to. The billionaire who laughed earlier suddenly looked like a child caught doing something wrong. He couldn't meet Arthur's eyes. For the first time, Marina saw something cracked behind Grant's polished exterior. A flicker of guilt, a hint of regret, something human. Arthur thanked her, not casually, but with a warmth so real it almost made her cry. He asked about her school, her grandmother, her life, and as Marina answered, Grant finally understood just how remarkable this young girl truly was. Arthur insisted on rewarding her, not with cash, but with opportunity. He offered to support her education, to mentor her in architecture if she ever wanted to learn, to keep in touch with her grandmother and make sure Marina had the future she deserved. Grant, ashamed of his earlier arrogance, apologized deeply, sincerely, to Marina and to Arthur. Something shifted in the atmosphere, like the room itself softened. Grant personally escorted Marina out of the office, a sight that left the staff speechless. When Marina stepped outside into the warm morning light, something lifted inside her. Hope, pride, a sense that she mattered. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but she knew one thing. Doing the right thing can change more than one life. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles. Your support helps us spread real stories that remind the world kindness still lives. Before you go, comment. Kindness continues. Marina walked home under the sun, unaware that her small act of honesty had just started a chain reaction of goodness she couldn't even imagine.